Hi, Lauren. This could be a long video because I'm going to go through weeks 1 to 5, but let me begin. So, you've given a good explanation here for why you think you earned A. That's actually the critical component here. If you just said, I deserve an A in 3 sentences, that's not really giving me evidence. But here you've provided some clear evidence. So, let's take a look at what you did. So you've got the prompt for which is great actually. That's extra, so thank you. You've given me a detailed explanation of what you learned. This might be expanded on a little bit. I'm not going to be overly critical because you provided a very detailed summary here. So I think you've done enough reflection, A quality reflection. So I think that's wonderful. You now have a personal and the prompts used for the project. So this is all kind of coming together, right? Because you've added them in there. And you're doing your master grade 2 students doing a unit. Wow, okay, that's ambitious for this 2-week unit sustainability environment. But okay, wow, okay, so that's a bold thing, a 2-week lesson, and yeah, okay, you've got a lot of information here. This is obviously we're working back here. This probably wasn't done initially all this at this time here, but you're making good progress. Let's just take a look at your so you get the title, describing the project, step-by-step execution. You've got a good plan, so everything's solid here. And you've given a nice explanation here. You've given the learning, so I would agree this is solid. Your in-class contributions are solid. You have given a resource here, but I'd like to have the link to Scribbler AI on that. Otherwise, I would say that's A quality work. Here, and I understand why it would be tedious, and this is why I've pulled it out after week 4, is your description is very short here. I will look at the evidence, but what I want you to do is develop the skill of self-evaluation. So at the end, you're giving me a rock-solid evidence-based case that says I deserve an A or an A plus. Okay. And then let's see what you've got here. The Gen A activity is an evaluation of a tool, and you looked at ideogram and the benefits, and you've given some links to your resources. This is a bit short. It's fine. Um, um, Limitations are maybe a little slim, and that those links here um, they probably should be labeled links, but I'm just being fussy here. So ideogram general, 2 girls, Sephora looking makeup aids talking in the mirror. Okay. And then a brown bear hugging a tree, creating an image. Okay, so you create, okay, wow, okay, so you're spending a lot of time on this. Ideogram, oh, okay, wow, okay, those are good reflections. I like those. Um, you're developing integrated lesson plan series and the sustainability unit plan. And it looks like you got your learning outcomes and yeah, so it looks like you've done some work and you're giving me a clear idea of where you're going through the timeline. So that's much appreciated. Your individual reflection is solid, and as is the tool that you've put in here. And it looks like you liked ideograms. So that's a new tool to me. So that's kind of exciting. Now, in week 3, you've got B plus. It's a bit confusing, a lot of content, and sometimes hard to keep top of it all. So you caught up. So again, you want to use this self-grading guide. So it's more that the evaluation is a bit weak as opposed to the grade itself. You've got your Gen AI activity, and these were the Challenges RC. So challenging behaviors. Okay, you've got this. And right, but the one thing you're missing here is following through with actually a particular resource to check out whether the tips or the suggestions actually worked. So, yeah, that's at least I'm missing that. I don't see it. I see the 4, 5. Yeah, I see the challenges, but then not that you actually followed one through. Uh, you have a draft to Canvas slides here for your project, and it's forbidden for me to see it. So that's a problem. And I don't even, yeah, so I can't see your slides. So that has a bit of a problem. The You make good contributions here. I believe you're actually supposed to evaluate a resource. So yeah, so I would agree you're at a B B plus would be, I would think you're probably right here. And then you're at B plus here, and again and so you're week 4, and um, again you didn't use the self-grading guide. After this, you don't need to do it, but that's what I was looking up to this point. In secondary school writing. Okay, so you did this, and presumably you um, okay, yeah, okay, you've gone through looking at these challenges, and then you have created a video somewhere. There it is there. So you have done that. So that's well done. So that's good. You spent a lot of time on it, and maybe a little less time on this kind of reflective part here. But I would say that's close to a quality work. I've asked you to. You did exactly what I asked you to do. Um, Here's a template entry for the project. So completed tasks on time, timeline status. Yeah, it's a little hard for me to know where you're at right now and where the project is at. And then you've got your weekly contributions here, and we didn't have to do this. So that was fine here. So far I've got 2 A's and 2 B pluses, and then you're back to an A here. Um, Again, just to warn you, um, you will have to give a much more evidence-based, detailed explanation of your grade at the end of the course. So you want to give yourself notes here. Um, so we got the Jenny activity, deep learning here, and you've looked at each in detail, which is really nice, or at least 3 of the ideas in detail. So that's solid. Progress update on the project. It's a little hard. So this is your entry. Completed task for finding Canva originally created, timeline status and time on your schedule because I need to. Okay, what I've learned and challenges. That's a good reflection. Again, I don't have a link to the project, so I'm a little concerned about that. In-class contributions are fine, and we didn't need to do this. So you can just delete this, by the way, just to make life easy for you. So I would say this is the thing I'm concerned about most is your project. So you're sort of you're in between A's and B pluses here. I wouldn't necessarily say this is A at this point. You did definitely A quality in the Gen A activity. I just don't. You can see why I'd be a bit confused about what's going on with the Gen AI project. I don't know what the final product is and how you're making progress on that. So yeah, so I'd say you're somewhere between. I guess you're kind of at that A minus area. Uh, um, and yeah, so that's where I would assess you at this point.